Streaming. I'm backlit. We are live.
We are live.
Welcome to Pass the Aisle.
Welcome.
My name's Meg.
And I'm Kevin.
Um, yeah, so this is gonna be our last show before the year ends, I think, right?
Yeah. I think the year ends in approximately 4 days, I think. And it felt like the year I totally felt after Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the
What'd
year
you
would
feel?
end immediately, but
Immediately.
like I think like New Year's will be 2 days later after Christmas. It always feels like that.
Yeah.
But
You actually have a couple of days.
we actually have like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a solid week. I have to keep
Which
this
is
open,
great.
actually.
Which is great.
I'm also gonna
I'm-
pop out the chat.
I'm enjoying the break right now.
That's good, Bam. Are you doing anything different this time around? Like now that we had the intent to relax.
No, I felt we're doing the same thing as last year, as
Yeah.
every year. I think the only difference is normally I would go snowboarding or I would do some winter
When have you gone
sports.
snowboarding?
Like, so they in Big Bear they always play concerts.
Yeah.
When the season's great. Usually, it was snowing last year and the previous year. My brother and I we snowboarded like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then last year we went up to Big Bear to see Travis. Travis Parker, right? Travis, I forgot his freaking name. The drummer from Blink-182. Yeah,
That's cool.
and that was it.
I like barely remember what happened last Christmas, except for
Oh,
it was
yeah,
our
Travis
first Christmas
Barker.
here, so that was kind of nice. So I think for this last show, like we're pretty relaxed today
I think we're always relaxed in the winter.
in the winter. Yeah.
Just because it's cold and then it gets dark earlier.
Well, I had my
and
workout this morning, and then I like
Yeah,
now. I'm
but
really
I feel like
tired.
at 4 o'clock when the sun goes down, you feel like it's nighttime already and the day's over. It's not like the summer when the sun sets around 8 o'clock. You're still up.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to do a roundup of this year. I think that would be cool, and that's 'cause you also on your Christmas card to me you actually rounded up everything.
Yeah.
So I have it here actually.
Oh, okay.
Ta-da!
So you're gonna read it off.
Yeah, maybe we can just kind of revisit the highlights of this year. Take a moment to pause and look at our accomplishments, our challenges of 2018. Bring some light to it, and then maybe by doing so in 2019, we'll be more conscious about how we're going to be better.
Okay.
Okay.
Read away.
All right. Cool. So, yeah, you wrote down everything.
Yeah, it just came like I just remember
That's
all the
pretty good.
highlights
Let
in
me
the
see.
year.
Finagle this.
Because I think they were pretty big events. We had
That's
a lot
cool.
of big events. I mean, from my perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know about your perspective and how you remember things. Do you remember big events or small details? Like,
I remember. I think small details versus big events.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you start off 'cause you made the list,
yeah.
and you can kind of take us through 'cause you have a good memory of big events and big highlights.
Okay.
And then I think I have a better memory for little details.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So earlier in the year, we both upgraded iMac 27-inch because I've been editing photos on a small 15-inch MacBook Pro for probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was bad on the back because I would like hunch over and look at the laptop because
Yeah.
it's a lot shorter of a viewpoint.
Yeah.
So the iMac was great for our desk, especially that we just moved into our home. We're in place. We're not nomadic with our laptops when we're editing. So it was a good investment.
I still edit on my laptop.
Caden moved out. So Caden was our dog for 10 years.
Yep.
And it was just time for him to get a job. No, Uh, so
Yeah,
he
I
moved
think
out.
if I could share something, I didn't share this with you. I think it's important too, though. So, 'cause everybody keeps talking about Caden, you keep showing me Caden stuff, and it's like I think it's important for me to tell you why I think I lost my shit
Uh-huh.
with him, is because I felt alone taking care of him. Also, that was
Yeah.
a big reason why I wanted to let him go. It's like we're not doing this thing together. I feel very alone and unsupported, and then only when I complain or something like that with Kaden, or when it's like unbearable for me and I finally communicate that to you, then it would feel like a partner effort with him. But then it was, I don't think we were ready for it ever.
Mhm.
Like it was Kaden was a gift to me. And before we were young, I think you think of pets as just entertainment.
Mhm.
And that's why we moved through a lot of animals
Yeah.
and nobody really stayed. And I tried to be very, like, I didn't want to do that with Kaden for the longest time. Even though I felt all the things that I'm telling you now, because I wanted to stay committed or whatever. But then in the end, it's like, and it's so good that it's a dog and it's not like a child or something, where it's if I felt that way, and then if I didn't say anything,
Mhm.
um, I think the loss is not so great. And he went to a better family, So
Mhm.
I don't feel bad about it at all. I think it should have happened a lot earlier. But yeah, we said goodbye to Caden. I think for a really good cause. Like, I don't look back because it just wasn't working. Like, I didn't like how the dynamic was when he was here, and I didn't like the person I was becoming, like taking care of him.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I'm the only one, and like because I was very uneducated on how to raise this dog, is like probably the worst parenting ever. So I don't feel bad about letting him go to people who actually will take time to take care of him the right way, and both of them seem to care for their pets in the same way, so they're like both on the same page. So um that's that. Like, I don't look back. I don't want another dog until we are able to really take it on as a full partnership. It doesn't have to be 50-50 all the time. Like, I get that. um but it was very like one-sided,
Mhm.
and so I didn't like that, and
Well, I
I just
mean, it
lost my
was also
shit.
Caden as well. Caden only followed you. you were a
Well, we
dog
made
only has one
That's what
master.
I'm saying. We
Yeah.
we were very uneducated in how to do it. When you heard the thing where it was like, "Oh, a dog will have one master,"
Yeah.
I think what that meant to you was like you do every single thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought that's what that meant too. But honestly, after all those years, I was like, no, I don't want to do every single thing. Like, that's like it's like a kid, and then you do every single thing. Yeah, right. And that's why I was like, that's one big reason why I think we will not be a good fit to be parents, because we're not. I feel like just we're not there yet,
Yeah.
communications wise, or being able to share the load of something like that. That's a dog. Not that I'm like comparing a child to, well, kind of comparing a child to the dog,
Mhm.
but that's like a first real little step. And a dog is no little thing to me. Like, if you get a dog, you should be committed. You should be educated, and it should be a team effort. If that's how, that's like if I was single, then duh, it would just be me. But I'm not.
Mhm.
I've been married since, like, I met you two in 2 months.
Yeah.
I got married to you in my mind in like the first 2 months that I met you. So that's why Caden is gone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, you formed a hiring system to find an A player. Quad joined the Bells and Laces team.
Yep. Thank you, Qua.
My friend Viet taught me film from Levy Photography. It slowly became a very expensive hobby. When I mean expensive, it's like $30 a roll expensive.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Dang. I didn't know it was
So
$30 a roll.
if you shot 5 rolls, which is only about 70 images,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whoa.
It's about close to $150 to develop.
Mhm.
And that is
But you already knew that,
why.
right? Before when you went in, you already knew film was expensive, or you didn't?
Well, I knew it was going to be expensive, but I wasn't, using it a part of our services.
Yeah.
So even though I knew it was expensive, I just do it sparingly. I don't photograph it like as a serious all film photography.
But it is really nice.
It's really nice. The colors are nice. To upkeep a film camera takes a lot because I didn't know that I got the rarest film camera in the damn world.
You didn't?
That even Fujifilm, the company Hasselblad, no one services that camera anymore.
What is it?
It's a Hasselblad H1, but it's a hybrid because back in the day, the camera that I bought, Fujifilm and Hasselblad teamed up to make a camera. So it was like 50% Fujifilm, 50% Hasselblad. So who knows who services this camera?
Oh.
Yeah.
And you
So
didn't
when
know
I
that
go
when
to
you bought
both
it.
companies and ask them questions, they're like, we no longer service that camera. Oh, no, you got to ask Fujifilm. Okay, I asked Fujifilm. They directed me back to Hasselblad.
Yeah.
So who knows? So there is only one shop in the entire United States that still services and knows how to service an H1. So I'm glad that I found him.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's no reason for me to even service this camera because I'm not going to shoot it. It's not a workhorse like our digital cameras.
Okay.
So later on earlier in the year, we moved our studio from downtown Fullerton to Orange.
Yeah.
And then middle of the year, Nathan, my studio partner, hired my father to renovate the studio, which took roughly 1 month. And there's some things that happen afterwards. So upon completion, a group of kids, who knows if it was a group of kids from Chapman University, the university is really close, and there's well, either way.
Yeah.
So our studio was broken into before we even got to move in.
Yeah.
And they had a party.
It sucked because that was the day, like, we were all excited. Call up John, we call up Benny, you call up, like, Nathan, your dad. We're all heading over to the studio to move all this stuff over.
Yeah, and it was just
then
filled with alcohol.
and glass.
And glass. And then, we just, we can just cry about it and everything, but,
It wasn't that bad, actually.
Yeah, we just
Could've
kind of
been
teamed
worse.
up and cleaned everything.
Yeah, it could have been worse. We cleaned it that day.
Yeah.
We swept
It could have been
up.
worse, definitely, because after placing in new floors, it could have gotten more banged up than what it was. So
Yeah, nobody stole anything really, right?
there was nothing in it.
Nothing to steal, so
Yeah.
it was like,
But
if it had
it
to
was
happen.
it was a good surprise.
Not a
It
good
was
surprise.
like great congratulations for us to move there.
Yeah.
Who would have known in the city of
They're just-
Orange?
They're just letting you know that you needed some cameras.
Yeah,
or whatever.
probably. So we did right after that incident, we definitely needed a break. So we did a staycation in Palm Springs with our friends, Ann and Rommel.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we needed another vacation. So we drove to Vegas, and we came across a really awesome resort, and it was called the Palms Hotel.
Palms Place.
It was or Palms Place. It was our first time staying off strip. Normally, we're always on the strip.
Oh yeah.
And we always had bad experiences with the Luxor being too old and cigarette smells everywhere. I mean, it's throughout Vegas, but it's really intense in Luxor.
Yeah.
But the Palms Place was awesome because there was a buffet downstairs. It had a gym upstairs. It had an amazing view, and we were surrounded by a bunch of awesome Asian food. It was like right across the street, so we didn't have to
cool.
drive anywhere that much. So that was our first.
I want to share that that was before I injured my knee, and that we went to go work out in the gym, right? And then I forgot to bring my my workout clothes. So I straight up wore your boxers.
And no one knew. Hey, these boxers were different.
They were really long.
They're really long
They
boxers.
were like long bike shorts or something.
Yeah.
And then, but they were like bright red.
Orange.
And then, or orange. And then I was wearing like my sweatshirt or whatever. And then I was kicking the bag because I was like, ooh, they have a punching bag in here. And then like I didn't care, and the gym was like hecka full, but I was like whatever. So those are the little details I remember. It was super nice, that hotel.
Yeah.
It was like
That's
exactly
hilarious,
what
though.
we needed. Yeah.
I would go upstairs and I would see her in the corner. I was like, hey, those are my boxers. But hey, it worked out.
Yeah.
So when we got back, we were relaxed.
Yeah.
We were babax.
Babax.
We launched a grand opening party for Coverve.
Yeah.
So who was there? The biggest highlight was the boba team from Fruit Tea. That was
Fruit Tea Boba.
huge. Thank you, Qual, to your friends for offering their service.
For that referral. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Also, Contemporary Humans, my brother and his band played, and it really created the ambiance throughout the party.
We had Taco Man.
Yeah, and the Taco Man. I don't know their name.
We just say Taco Man.
Yeah, Taco Man. And Photo Booth Supply Company for bringing out their photo booth, and we got to test it out. And, other than that, it was cool. Everyone that came to support, it was awesome.
We had family and friends come out. It was cool.
And then right after, or actually, this was before we met Tony and Cindy.
Yeah.
And we invited them to our Coverve grand opening.
Yeah.
So we met Tony and Cindy through Rockin' Events, through our friend Jenny Chang, which is Tony's sister. Her niece was having a first birthday.
Yeah.
And then from there, I found out that Tony and Cindy lived within our neighborhood, and it was a small world.
Yeah.
And then right after, they invited us to have Brooksy.
Oh, yeah. We had their birthday, and then...
And this was like the next day.
And then the next day, we had the grand opening, yeah.
I was like, whoa, we just hung out with you, and then we're at Brooksy's talking about business.
Yeah.
Okay, so the business was Super Jewelry Co., as you guys all know. We, at one point, for 2 quarters, or a quarter.
A quarter, basically.
We're a part of a jewelry business.
Yeah.
And then right after, within the process, Megan can share why she left Coverve. But we both did, but we both have our own reasons.
Yeah. I left because, honestly, like, I saw a lot of things the reason why I left was initially the things that I already foresaw that I would have a problem with. And not to be like personal or whatever, but on the management scale of things. So, as always, with an entrepreneur who starts their own business, who's a visionary and a technician, they only know really how to do those 2 jobs. And as usual, the management portion of running a business for the longevity of the business was neglected or not even managed. And I just saw a lot of that stuff. And it was hard to kind of like weasel my way in there when I didn't feel like I was, I don't know, like, how do you say, like, right to do it? You know, like, you guys were the owners and the founders, and I just felt like my ideas, which I wanted to help you, it's not that all of my ideas were gonna like save Coverve or like something like that and being egotistical, but I just didn't see it being very functional, and it was frustrating for me because I already knew and foresaw the things, because we dealt with that in our own company, and we've already fixed it, doing the things that I wanted to do. But it was just different because if you have different people in the kitchen, like too many cooks in the kitchen, it gets really hard to make decisions. So this is another reason why I left Super Jewelry Co. too, because there was too many forerunners. When you need to have people securely in their role and be very comfortable in their role, and like nobody butting into that role, so that you can keep the wheel moving and keep the wheel turning. And so that's why I left, because I felt like Nathan could do, or you and Nathan could go back to whatever structure that you guys had. it seemed to be working in whatever capacity, but I just didn't really have the patience to do that anymore. And I was like, I was already doing bells and laces at the time and trying really to get that off the ground. And we had developed already a pretty good run, and then still dealing with KLV too.
And so the reason why I left Coverve originally, I thought of Coverve as a great collaboration into the commercial photography business world.
Yeah.
I just had a great experience when I first started back in 2014 as my first commercial gig for it was a live event. Uh, there was like producers and actors for WB and everything. And it was cool. It was a nice ambiance, and I was like, "Hey, this is a nice break. That I'm not always photographing engagement and weddings, but I'm photographing like other things."
Yeah.
Right. And then I've noticed that I started to gain more inquiries in commercial, but I needed help. I couldn't do it all. Like commercial takes sometimes a team of 4 or a team of 6, like 2 videographers, 4 photographers, and they want you to capture like multiple events that's happening on one day, and I can't handle that by myself. So I reached out to Nathan, who also photographed a lot of commercial gigs at the time, and he's still doing it right now, which he took over Coverve.
Yeah.
But slowly, as we got in more serious, I started to know the lingo, the language, and everything was business to business. So dealing with business to business is difficult because you're against other companies, and it gets really annoying to wait to hear if your bid was accepted or not. And I didn't like that. And the other thing about commercial side that I didn't like, right, I'm going to just put it out there, is that they don't appreciate the artists, the people that learn the way, they photograph your event. They don't say thank you. They just like, boom, you're done with the event. Thank you for the images. Can I download them? Cool, thank you. And that was it.
Yeah.
It's nothing like weddings.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing like weddings. And which is cool. It kind of matches other people's perspective, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I kind of fell out of it, as well as there was a lot of when you were serious, Nathan was serious, and I was like, let's go. I was feeling that I was tugged back and forth between our wedding photography business and our commercial business. I was like feeling like, okay, I got to switch my mindset. It was like 50% Coverve, 50% KLV. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
My brain was so tired during that time that every time that we had a meeting, I was like spacing out because I didn't have enough room in my head to store all that, So I was like, I got to choose one, and I had to choose what I love and what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So I'm back. KLV.
But then what happened?
100%.
Another thing
And
happened.
then rolling
The same pattern.
You traveled to Guam with Jenna and visit your grandma for 1 week.
Yeah.
During that time, we just launched Super Jewelry Co. And then what was really helpful throughout the process is that Tony's he loves to talk about his emotions, what he's going through with his marriage and within his life. So you guys started the Golden Rule.
Yeah.
And then the Golden Rule is a podcast just speaking about everything that's on your mind, everything that you just need to get off your chest and see everyone else's or seeing Tony's perspective on it. So we had many breakthroughs in our marriage after I learned how helpful the Golden Rule was after watching several videos on YouTube. And then afterwards we faced reality about Jonathan's skill set as a lead photographer. So he came up to us, or you actually spoke to him prior to that like a boss. You were afraid, being that, boss mentality, to speak the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a little talk about that.
Yeah.
And then we had a team meeting with everyone, the bells and laces, and merging into KLV. And after that, we just lost one team member, which was your cousin, Michelle.
Yeah.
And then once we migrated bells and laces into KLV, we were 100% in just KLV
Yeah.
as a wedding photography business.
Yeah.
Back to square one. So toward the end of the year, Super Jewelry Co. was going in a direction that you were uncomfortable with. I was feeling it as well initially. I didn't at first. I was like, "Cool, you found a niche, right?" SoundCloud rappers. For those that don't know, SoundCloud rappers are underground rappers that just rap through SoundCloud, and they just build their fan base from there.
Yeah.
So I wasn't into that crowd. I didn't like acting like I was in high school again, being surrounded by that, knowing that I have to promote Super Jewelry Co. and our jewelries by going out there and dealing with these kids that just, I feel like I'm so mature for them, and they're still figuring life out.
Yeah.
I couldn't step down to their level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt it was stupid or something, so I couldn't do it. So for different reasons, we both left Super Jewelry Co. just to concentrate on Kevin Levu photography.
Yeah.
And we also saw that the performance during that time of just putting a lot of energy in Super Jewelry Co. Like I would say, you put a lot. I put more than usual because it was like it was a different feeling. And I remember we kept on raving. I was like, "This is cool. This is awesome."
Yeah.
At first and everything.
Yeah.
And then I started to see the performance of the KLV side. And then it could be many reasons, like our cousin Jonathan. He may felt neglected, like, oh, we left the company or something to concentrate on something. They have an exit plan or something. Like, people may have felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he felt. He's probably not speaking the full truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But there's probably many things.
Mm.
Since we neglected the company and the people within that company, there was like less interactions with us and our team in the KLV side. There was a lack of support.
Mm.
So it could be many things.
How were you different?
I was not calling continuously like all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, my mind was somewhere else. Usually on the daily, I'll be
You're
like,
not calling John continuously.
yeah, or like, hey, let's work on some stuff.
Because that's all you have to call, right? You
No,
just
like
have to call
usually
John.
it's like, hey, do you want to go? Let's work on some certain skills, or let's do this, let's do that.
But when did you guys ever do that?
Oh, we used to do it like before that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
But then I felt like myself, I was like changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was like operating
Yeah.
two businesses.
Yeah.
So I couldn't handle to speak with my teammates on the KLV side.
Yeah. From what I remember, it was like whenever it was KLV time, you were thinking about Super, and then when it was Super time, you were thinking about KLV.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
It was weird.
Why?
It was weird.
Yeah, it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we needed it. It was kind of like the last straw, which was great. It gave us, it gave you a true, like true proof that doing that pattern, which is something shiny and new and exciting, comes along, and it can be very tantalizing and addictive.
Yeah.
In the beginning, but then once you get into the weeds of it, like the everyday task of it, like, are you willing to put in as much effort as you are with your own business?
Remember I told you my accountant, Mary, would say, just concentrate on one thing, and this was like 6 years.
And she told you that before already.
Like way, like when I was young,
Yeah.
like super young.
Yeah.
Like 23, 24,
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
He's just like, just concentrate on one thing.
Yeah.
And then I had to, we had to learn it. Everyone has to learn it their own way. Like,
Right.
even though you told them, is like, they're like, yeah, you have to just go through it
Yeah.
to feel it.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't know why I went through it, you know?
Well, you know what? You just said it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when
When someone told you something,
yeah, it was
right?
so frustrating because it's like you're
Like,
a
you
proof
know
of
it. Yeah, you know it, but you still did it.
Yeah, and you'll do the same with other people. It's like, dude, I told you, don't do that, or I told you it's good. It should be this way.
Yeah.
And then like they just have to find out for themselves or something.
I think everyone does it, right?
You know, or whatever. And
Everyone
like,
does it, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But I think it was really good, the fact that we were pushed to our brink in a way at that time, and now we're like.
It's very similar to how our parents raised us, and when your parents tell you to do something, right? But then, or they tell you not to do something and you still do it.
Are you talking about yourself?
Yeah, I'm just talking about just in general.
Yeah.
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 I'm not sure how much you followed your parents, like rules back in the day.
It's never 100% like, oh, you tell me to do something and I don't do it. For
Yeah.
sure, it's not 100%.
Yeah.
I think you do your best to.
Yeah.
But then for whatever reason, your impatience, your ego, your id, your self-serving self, your selfish self, wants to
experience
not
everything.
give a fuck about it and just do whatever you want to do.
I think the main thing is people want that experience. They want to experience rock bottom. They want to experience the highs.
I don't think they want to experience rock bottom, but they have to just experience whatever that is, and sometimes it leads to rock bottom.
And sometimes it leads to a very
whatever.
awesome area.
Yeah, so you just kind of like don't know, and that's the beauty of life.
Yeah. So how would you is it great to do it just on your own? Just do it?
I think
would you
yes,
suggest
for the first time, right? The problem is when it becomes a repeated pattern and you're not learning from your mistakes and you keep doing the same shit. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and there's the three, you learned in psychology, like in college or whatever, there's the id, the ego, and the whatever something, the three cornerstones of your psychology.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So the id is like the self-serving self, the selfish one, the one that doesn't care about anybody else except themselves.
This was like the 3 kids, I remember.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And the ego is something a little bit different. But a lot of times that's why I think it's great that we were pushed to that brink to recognize that pattern and to go, okay, let's really pay attention right now. Because I would be the same way. It's just like before I told you I would just follow you and say yes. I want to break that pattern as well, where it's like, wait, is this a good idea? What reason are we doing this? And I try to now just be a little bit more conscious, just like random shit that you want to buy for the gym, right? It's like, well, why? Is this just in the whiskey? Is this just a grab for serving the selfish need to collect, the selfish need to have all the things? I just want to question why. I'm not sure if it is yes or no or whatever, but that's part of my job to balance us, I think. And hopefully, you do the same for me as well. So I think it's fine. Like the first time, yes, like I think Coverve was a great experiment. And then you learned whatever you had to learn there. And we did take some of those lessons that we took in Coverve into Super, right?
Mm-hmm.
We definitely did. We were like, oh, we don't want to really go through this, so let's all take personality tests and make sure that we're all speaking to each other fully, and we're not just talking about business, but we're also talking about the emotional side of business, which you guys didn't do that.
Yeah,
that was very helpful.
I think there's many things we learned in everything that we do. In Coverve, I learned more about lighting, studio stuff, technical stuff that I wouldn't need in weddings, and then I brought it to weddings.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to play with green screen.
Yeah.
Just challenge myself in photography. it definitely brought another world, and then I was able to apply in Super.
Yeah.
And Super um, brought a perspective of how to work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how we team build and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and team decision making. We were pretty consistent trying to maintain that system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the
In the end.
in the end, I think we outgrew each other in a way. Not that it fell apart. I think we just all evolved. So for the time being, and since we were around each other so much, we lived so close, and we could really get a lot of shit done very quickly, which was our advantage. Tony grew, you grew, I grew, Cindy grew. Like we all kind of, I feel, that's why I didn't feel sour about leaving. It's just like, dude, I see Tony. He didn't see it yet, I think. Before, when we left, he didn't see that he could do it. He told us he was not confident yet to take it on. Like, can I do this without them? I was like, dude, you can. Because the hustle that he showed, that he's been showing on Instagram and whatever, like, I don't dig it, right? The culture, I don't dig it. But I dig his drive and his passion for what he's doing. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to, like, be surrounded by it or anything because I don't dig it. But I do appreciate the person, the teammate that we both learned from, the both of us in our marriage, our friend. Like, I appreciate his hustle. That's what I really believed, and I saw that pretty early on that he could do that. And I was like, you know what, me trying to like kind of catch up to him or whatever, do the little things that I was doing, it was just a distraction. I felt like they could do it.
Yeah.
I was very confident in them. So I didn't feel bad about leaving Super because I just I could see in them that they could do it. Yeah.
Cool. That was a lot in there. So we decided to invest in Snap It Fancy, which is our photo booth company that's been with us since we started KLV.
Almost about 2 years. 2 years in, or something like that. Maybe.
So we invested in a more improved booth to save the headache from our previous booth.
But we still got headaches.
I think it's just software. Freaking apps.
Well, how is it? Is it
It's a lot better.
Is
it's
it 10
easier.
times better, or?
I would say it's 10 times better. It looks better.
It
it's
looks
more
better.
marketable.
Okay.
People have a better experience with it. Sharing is a lot easier. Email campaigns, collecting data, everything is more improved.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a system. It can be a big business on its own if you want it to, but that's not our goal. It's just to have it on the side.
Well,
and
for now it's not our goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my goal to make 100,000 from it. Like, that's not my goal.
Right now.
My goal, not right now, yeah. Right now, it's still a side thing, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And then afterwards, Jonathan told us that he'll be leaving the company at the end of the year. So his last wedding was on Black Friday, and that was that.
Well, how are you
That's
dealing?
funny, huh?
How are you?
That was funny. Like, people leave on Fridays. People get fired on Fridays.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I just heard something from a movie recently, right?
I don't know. That's a movie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then we picked up heavy-ass mats from...
well, wait. I didn't ask you the question, which is, how are you doing with not talking to John all the time? I think we should. I think we should discuss it, because every other day you're like, "Oh, I called John and he didn't pick up."
I didn't call him every day.
Every other day, I hear it. And so maybe we should discuss it.
Yeah.
I want to give you the space to talk about it. You know, you're always saying it in passing while we're trying to relax or we're trying to do something. It's like, I don't really want to get into this right now. So this is our time. This is your space to speak. I know that Jonathan means a lot to you, so maybe we can discuss it a little bit.
Well, I mean, like, it's been a long journey, right? So
yeah. Does it feel a little sad that he's not picking up the phone, or like, you know, he's not there? I guess he's not there.
Yeah, I guess it's yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
I mean, he can definitely pick up the phone if you
I
wanted
know,
to.
but why is he not picking up the phone?
Because he's sick right now. Caught the freaking flu.
Well, what I'm saying is, I said, well, I think I said this kind of harshly, but I think you
Mhm.
guys need a break. That's all.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of separation. So I said this because you kept saying it,
Yeah.
and I was getting a little bit annoyed. One because I was like, um, man, just let him go for a minute. You don't need to call him all the time or whatever. And I think I'm just assuming, but
Mhm.
if I'm John, and I'm kind of like John, I
Yeah.
often would make the comparison. We're similar in a lot of ways how we think. And I would think that I would just need a break. I would need a break from the person who's always challenging me. So for example, I'll give you an example, like Jeff used to call me a lot,
Mhm.
my mentor. And every phone call is a little bit nerve-wracking because I want to show him my best. I want to show him that I've been learning, that I've been putting to use the things that he's been telling me to put into practice, or
Yeah.
I want to present my best self. And I feel like I can't do that with him. He wants to, like, he's like a coach, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would feel pressure. I would feel like every phone call is going to be pressure for me and my own insecurity, or my own, like, selfishness to want to just relax and not talk about work, or not talk about what next marketing thing I'm going to do. Um, I just would shy away from it.
Mhm.
So I feel like after all this time, and most of your calls center around work,
Yeah.
I think subconsciously, I don't know if I'm just guessing, he just wants a break from that.
Yeah.
So don't take it personally, I would say, is just, it's not that he doesn't want to hang out with you, or,
Huh.
of course, he loves you. He's your cousin. So, I mean, I think he just needs a break. He needs to not have you in his ear all the time right now.
Mhm.
I think he's trying to figure his shit out. He has a future wife that he needs to support. Maybe he needs to rely more on her a little bit. Like, maybe they need to talk about things more instead of talking to you.
Yeah.
um, and having that, being a little bit more on his own and independent. Where he
Mhm.
used to do a lot of stuff for him. He used to handle his finances. You know what I'm saying? So I think he just needs a break. You need a break too. I think it's nice. It feels more, I think, maybe it feels empty for you. Maybe it feels a little hurtful for you because you're the one leading,
Mhm.
and now he's not really following you anymore. I know what that feels like. That's like when Jenna started to grow up and not want to do everything that I like to do. She likes to do her own thing.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't want to just sit here and watch me play video games? She used to just do that. That's so boring, right? Like,
Hell
you
yeah.
want me to just sit here? So that's what I'm saying, is like the person
Yeah.
that you were leading, you guys are growing up. He's growing up, and I think he just needs a break to just do his own thing, to not talk about work, to not be telling you how great or bad or whatever life is going, because that's a pressure. It's always a pressure when the elder sibling or elder cousin is like, so what are you doing now? Are you doing a good job? Are you being successful? Like Filipino families, like, we're
Mhm.
notorious for that. What are you doing? How are you doing in school? Da da da. So I think he just needs a break, and you guys will be cool, like, in a couple months.
Yeah.
Want to hang out again? No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you put it together.
So
I mean, I
think
felt that as well. I mean,
yeah.
you already told me outside
I
of
know,
this.
but you've been saying it, so I think it's on your mind, and I think.
Well, it's been on my mind because he didn't pick up his Christmas gift yet, and
Well,
sitting
that's
under
what
the
I'm
tree.
saying. Yeah, it's just chill. Like, that's what a gift is for. It's
Yeah.
not for you to go, hey, come here, pick it up.
Yeah.
I think you're so weird sometimes. It's like, it's a gift. Give it freely
Yeah.
at their leisure. It's not a means of control. Hey, I got a gift. You come over here now. It's not like that.
No, we were going to drop it off.
You know what I mean? No, I don't know about that. You just made that decision right
No,
now.
I just put it in a text.
Yeah,
like
so
3 days ago.
it's okay. I mean, I know where you're coming from, but that's not the reason for gifts, for them to come here.
Mhm.
Right? So, So yeah,
Well, we're just trying to clean up, and my mindset, how I am.
his
I just
gift
want
is this big, B.
But still, I
It's
don't like
this
things
big.
lingering a year later.
It's okay. It's not a year later. It's
Okay.
only been a couple days.
All right. And then we picked up heavy ass mats from ETE.
Yay!
These mats, man, I didn't know they were gonna weigh this much.
Yeah, they're really
And my
heavy.
truck almost freaking broke because I didn't really know how heavy
really?
they were. Well, the owner was saying, "Oh, do you live far from here?" I'm like, not too far, 20 minutes. He's like, "Well, just drive very slowly." So, yeah, these mats were 110 pounds. Each of these mats are the ones that are fully rubber. I think they're made from recycled tires or something. Really great quality. If you guys do like to lift and like to accidentally drop your weights or do deadlifts, they're great mats because they won't damage your concrete or cause it to crack or whatever.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that with real plates, right? We only have bumper plates.
Oh, that's why I got bumper for ultra protection.
Could you drop real plates or not?
I wouldn't even drop any plates.
You probably couldn't.
I mean, I wouldn't even want to drop any plates.
But when you're a real, we don't have the room for it, but when you snatch and...
Oh, I snatch.
And clean and snatch, right?
Yeah, I clean and snatch.
But then they drop it. So they extend, and then they freaking drop it from here. Like when they're standing, they'll drop it from there.
Yeah, but they have 2 boxes, remember?
Not
and they
all
drop
the
it on
time.
the boxes.
I think that's why you get the bumpers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always see them every time they drop.
You don't have any room for it anyway.
They just throw it on the boxes.
Yeah.
But, I'm not here to do CrossFit moves. Like, it's not a CrossFit gym.
Well, that's Olympic.
Yeah. So we're getting into I'm getting into HIIT exercise, and Tony is also will be starting his first session with me tomorrow on HIIT training. For those that don't know, we're both mesomorph. You're also mesomorph, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, meaning that our body type is very carb sensitive, and the only way to attack those carbs and make us less bloat is HIIT training, because HIIT training is very short.
What about not eating crappy food?
Well, we try not to eat crappy food, and we always rebound. So what are we going to do that we can do best and maintain? It's exercising. So I think that's funner than eating very, very healthy food or even a balanced diet.
Yeah.
I think I can do that occasionally throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I feel like trying to do it every day with a great diet, it's so damn hard. It's harder than weightlifting. Like, people will tell you, eat a balanced diet.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Why?
It's so, like, everything, like, that we're surrounded. Like, when I'm driving out, shooting a session, right, I'm hungry as heck. I can't wait in that traffic at the 91 crush for, like, an hour and a half. I need to eat something.
Yeah.
So I just go.
You just go.
Yeah, it's so hard
you just go fast food. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I try not to get too much stuff, and usually when it's McDonald's, it's like sausage egg McMuffin, and I'll get 2 of those.
And then the other day you got 2 hamburgers.
Well, I thought I ordered 1.
You're like, well, we accidentally ordered 2.
Yeah, but yeah. Hey, I'm on break.
Break time.
Yeah.
Holiday.
So we installed that. We installed the mats on the same day that we got them, using a dull blade, which took us it didn't take us too long, right?
I mean,
because it was just the main pieces were in place, and it was just the side, right, the L shape.
Minutes.
Yeah, which is not bad.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing now.
Yeah, it's
all
awesome.
that hard ass work with the dull blade.
Yeah. It didn't take that long, actually.
And then Chi here's been into whiskey for the past year, right? It's only been a year, or would you say it happened after?
Probably about a year.
Because I don't remember.
No, we've been drinking whiskey before, because you were into it. We were drinking whiskey before Christmas last year.
Before Christmas last year?
So probably about a year and a half or so,
It's been a year and a half.
something like that.
It's been a year if it's before Christmas.
Yeah.
Um. So and then I slowly got into it. After like drinking several Macallans and tasting at our friend's place, having the Hibiki. That's how I first heard of it. And then you kept on raving about this Nika, and then we recently just bought it yesterday.
Yeah.
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 And whiskey is cool because, like you said, it's something for us to do together.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually our first hobby. No,
Not really.
no, we did. Yeah,
we did plenty before I got injured.
Yeah, but then this is a non-physical hobby. I feel
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
until
A
something
non-physical.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Maybe
my goal
can
is to come
become
back.
physical.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Huh?
You said it can become physical.
It can become physical.
What, whiskey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, if you freaking injured your liver, then you need a liver transplant.
What the heck?
Either way, we traveled to Vegas and we celebrated our 3rd year, and we came across a liquor store called XO Liquor Store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you which one because it's going to give it away.
I don't think they care.
Okay, they don't care. All right. So we picked up a hockey shoe and a Hibiki. At this time, we've been in search for a Hibiki for the longest time, right?
Yeah.
And our friends kept on saying, go to Costco. And then we would go to Costco. We would always go to any Costco.
Yeah. For like the last 6 months, we were going to Costco and like hopefully going to
Just
the
go-
whiskey aisle. And
Yeah.
we're like, are we going to see it? So it was so exciting to see it. Like, you know, our
Yeah,
hunt.
in a liquor store.
Our treasure hunt. Yeah. In the most random place. It was pretty deserted in Vegas.
And
There was
after
one
that,
crazy guy outside.
yeah, and then after that, it started to appear everywhere.
I know. Like the planets were aligning. And then
was
even
like, what
found
the
a
heck?
hockey shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in freaking Japan earlier this year, just in the airport. But like you would think
Yeah.
that Japan would have it, and all of it, like all the common ones that are somewhat affordable, like 100, 150 bucks stateside. Over there, you would think it's available. No, they have all these like crazy ass bottles that I can't afford.
And and then you would know about the hockey shoe, but you never said anything to me until
Because you weren't into it then.
and then my cousin had the hockey shoe 12, and we tasted it at his home.
I
I was
feel like
like-
he pushed you over the fence finally.
But yeah, well, after I tasted that versus the Macallan, I was like, whoa,
Mhm.
this is really good,
Yeah.
like smooth.
Yeah.
And then when we found it at the XO, or you spotted it, I was like, holy crap. He said it was very hard to get.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to say anything about the price, but it was a great price.
It was a great price. Yeah. Yeah. Under $100.
Yep. After that, Jenna photographed our 3rd year anniversary photos at a teepee that
Yeah.
you found.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was
like,
really
I want to
nice.
thank you for that booking. It was
Thank you,
cool. I felt more relaxed. I felt our Vegas trip, excuse me, was relaxing.
Yeah.
But it kind of sealed the deal for the end of the year. It felt like a vacation.
Very
A
peaceful.
1-day vacation felt like 2 days, and that's really good.
Yeah. Maximi, yeah.
I always like nature, like vacating in nature areas,
Yeah.
because I'm not surrounded by technology.
Some
Even though
distraction.
we have one technology, which is our mobile phone, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like you're in a city. You're not surrounded by a bunch of street lights. You're not surrounded by car noises, all
Mm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in this teepee or around that area, it was completely silent,
Yeah.
and that's what makes me relax. I
Yeah.
feel there was less. I don't feel anxious to do stuff.
I
you know?
see. Yeah.
It's like golf course is not like 2 blocks
There's nothing to
away,
distract
or
you.
yeah, there's no Panda Express to drive to and get some food, or Albertsons, or just this
Yeah.
Target, Costco. There was nothing.
Uh-huh.
So you kind of like, for me, I felt like I was stranded, and this is all I got,
Mm.
and I was able to
Oh.
dive in deeper, and I was like at my most relaxed state.
You need to be off the grid.
Yeah, I have to be off the
Okay,
grid.
cool. So we can plan off the grid, longer off the grid vacations.
Well, I was trying to but you don't want to stay in Canada.
Hell no, I don't want to go to Canada.
That Canada place was amazing. It was a total off the grid.
Nah, because okay, look how it goes. Okay, there has to be a compromise. Even though you like to travel and be off the grid, what does it take to get to Canada? And their fucking customs line, right? So freaking long. Oh my god. So instead of that, you can easily go to Joshua Tree or Pioneer Town, which is one of the coolest places ever, and get the same result.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper, it's quicker, like it's just better.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. I don't know, I get really frustrated with it's like going to Wii Spa, but it's in LA. What does it take to get to Wii Spa? You got to go through LA. And then when you leave Wii Spa, then you're right back in that stressful state again.
But you won't be right back in the stressful state when you're in Canada for like a week or a week and a half.
Yes, you will when you fly back and you got to go through customs.
Yeah, but
line,
you're
you
already
gotta fly
relaxed.
back, and I'm not, because I'm in customs now.
Well, we can go straight to Pioneer Town.
You still got to fly back. You're missing
But
the
then
point.
you still have to drive back from Pioneer Town.
Yeah,
which
was
the
was
same
chill.
thing.
No, it's not. You just get in your car and go. And
Hey,
there's
you
no
never
traffic.
experienced it from flying from Ontario, so you don't know.
You don't have to. You still, when you get into Canada, you still gotta go through the same shit that everybody else goes through.
Yeah, but that didn't bother me.
I know it didn't bother you. I'm telling you, it bothers me. you gotta listen.
Well, you want to go Maui instead?
Not really.
Well, a part of me also like new places as well. And Joshua, that Pioneer Town, staying there was also new.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've been to Joshua Tree, the national park, seeing all these big rocks and everything.
Yeah.
But staying there, camping there was also different.
Yeah.
But staying in a teepee was a new experience.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though it's complete silence in an area that we travel to, if it's new, it also actually makes it more interesting to stay at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if it's new. I think, yeah, probably the next time, I always try to do something new. I want to do horses next time. But I don't know. I always think about Christopher Reeve, and it scares me.
I don't think it's wise to do that.
But horses would be so cool.
I mean, if you have a low back issue, I don't think it's wise.
Well, maybe in a year I'll be strong enough to do it because I'm actually training and conditioning to be stronger.
I think you need training to even be on a horse.
Not to be on a horse.
Well, I don't
We've
know.
done it. I've done it already. So.
I've only been on a donkey in Mexico.
A donkey.
Yeah. And we
All
went
right.
through Ensenada on a donkey. It was funny. I was like, this is boring. There's flies everywhere on his ears. Kept on doing this. I was like, this is boring. Take me back.
Dumb. See, it's too hard to please you. You want to do like new shit all the time. You're gonna go by yourself. I'll
No,
send
we're
you
actually
back.
going in March to visit my cousin, or April,
Did you confirm
in
it?
South Lake Tahoe. She's like, come over anytime.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they work from home now.
All right. Cool. 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 So is that it? That was your list?
That was the list. That was the end of the year, and then we celebrated our Christmas with our parents at our home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was awesome. You made prime rib,
Yeah.
sous vide,
Yeah.
along with what else did you do differently this time? we use the vacuum sealer on it, which
Yeah.
is it has a better seal than your pump.
It's the ultimate seal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the ultimate seal, and it worked.
It's a real deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like throughout that entire prime rib
Yeah.
was consistent in color.
Consistently pink and
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And then
It's
your
perfect.
dad overcooked it. It was just one slice.
He doesn't. He doesn't like rare stuff. I guess. I
Yeah.
try to explain. You see all the red stuff. It's not blood. It's just hemoglobin.
Mm-hmm.
People get freaked out, but it's not. It's not rare. It's cooked all the way through.
Yeah.
It's been cooking for 5 hours.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And but then we had, what else did we have?
Spaghetti, adobo,
Mm-hmm.
and empanadas.
Yeah.
Lotus salad, bunch of random stuff.
And we got to hang out with our neighbors
Yeah, we did.
and tried Nigerian food.
Nigerian food, yeah.
That
They
was-
fed us a lot of alcohol. And I later threw up.
Oh, I didn't.
I got so sick.
I can hang.
No, I cannot. I can't hang with all that.
Yeah.
New food and new alcohol. Blip. I was like,
And then the New Year's, we're taking it easy as usual. So
Yeah.
we're just
no, she has me cooking. No, I cook every New Year actually.
So pate, chicken pate,
Pate.
and
Chicken
then
liver
pork
pate.
chops
Pork chop.
from this Bastia
Yeah.
book that our friend gave to us for Christmas. Thank
Yeah.
you, Shelly.
Thank you for more cooking work. No, I'm just kidding.
And then Qua's coming
It's gonna be
over.
fun. It's gonna be fun.
And then we don't have television, so we're just going to watch the New Year's on internet.
We are?
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna play games or whatever.
No, like the countdown. You can't count down without TV, so
countdown.
you only can count down on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's gonna Instagram live it.
Yeah, someone's going to Instagram live it, but it's cool when you get to see like performance at Times Square or something. You don't get to see all that.
Can we stream it on a big screen?
I don't know.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. This would be the first time we're actually
Yeah.
doing something with other people. We usually pass out by 10, wake up at 12, clinky the champagne, and then go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty tired at that time. That'd
Yeah,
be
and then
cool.
usually the first week of January, I'm still tired.
I'm still
I
tired.
think as you get older, the years, like every day just gets tiring.
You sound so old.
I don't know. It's like
Finally, someone's getting tired.
I
I'm
get-
getting tired.
well, I think it's the winter too. It's so freaking cold that I just want to sleep in.
That's why I turn on the heater.
Even then, it makes me even sleep longer
Yeah,
because
that's
it's so
true.
cozy.
You're all cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel
That's
we are
okay,
starting
man.
the year really early. So actually,
Oh, you're going back to
2
work?
days right after the new year, we're photographing our first wedding on a Thursday at the Mitten building, and
Oh,
then
cool. At the Mitten?
yeah,
Nice.
and then a week later we have another wedding. So we have a busy January and
Wow.
February. March is slow, so March is probably the end of first quarter. It's tax season, so I think that's enough time to be busy with that.
Yeah.
And as usual, it allows us to start engaging more into what we need to do for the remaining part of the year.
We have a lot to do. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do, and I think we discussed in the other Past the Aisle episode that we'll be doing something differently and reaching out to our past clients
Yeah.
and celebrating, giving them a shout out on their anniversary date. And I just thought of something today while I was working out that got to utilize more of the Instagram stories as a way to reach out.
Oh, you're getting a lot better, like documenting a little bit more transparency in your stories and being more relaxed with your social media presence, I guess.
Yeah.
Or which is cool. I want to make note of that. Where you're
Yeah.
just you're
The only
having-
thing is
you're
it's very
relaxed.
cumbersome to film yourself working out. Like my phone, I don't like the movements that I do. It doesn't catch me in it, so
Yeah.
that's why I never show myself, anyways. So.
No, you don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. I just appreciate you're having a teensy bit more transparency in your posts and having I'm not thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
I used to be like, oh, what should I say, or how should I capture it? It's like, who gives a crap? Just have fun and let go in it. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing from you, which is cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I got to the point that I was so tired of that, trying to
Upkeep this like
No.
perfectness
no, yeah, try upkeep like a strategy.
strategy. Yeah.
Like everything has a strategy.
There's also
And then
the
I
non-strategy
was just
strategy.
like breaking. I was like just breaking that habit and like screw this strategy and let's just do it.
I just have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of let loose.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It makes me feel more relaxed too.
Yeah.
Because if you're like you're for the most part very stiff and professional,
Mhm.
and if you're that way, then I feel like I have to be that way too,
Yeah.
which is just restrictive. I don't feel like myself. So I like that you're letting go.
Yeah.
You don't have to let go everything, but a
Mhm.
little bit. Somebody said hi. They're in Algeria right now.
What?
On the chat.
Algeria?
They're listening from Algeria.
Where is that?
Algeria is in Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right? His name is Tayyeb. Hi, Tayyeb.
Hi, Tayeb.
Right? Africa?
I don't know.
Oh, snap. I better be freaking right, man. Okay. Ooh, correct me if I'm wrong.
But yeah, thank you for watching. We're towards the end of our show here, but
Yeah.
just
Catch
skip
the
that.
replay.
Yeah,
Catch the replay.
I just want to give a shout out to our friend Nathan for getting us this book.
Yeah.
This is an amazing book for whiskey lovers.
It's dope.
It just takes you throughout the entire experience when you're just trying different whiskeys and trying to find your palate, try and find what you like and what you don't like, and the history of how to make it.
It's cool. It's very cool to do this with you, Chi. And we have this whiskey journal. And I was thinking, I should get 2 because, and then I was like, I'm just going to get 1 because he's probably not going to write in it. But then you were writing in it. And I was like, that's awesome. And now we'll be tasting. And I'm like, dang it. I knew I should have got 2 because, like, you don't want to lose the notes that you have in your mouth or the taste or the ideas that are like the flavors that are coming to your head. And you're like, I want to write that down. But then you found this really cool app.
Yeah.
Distillers app?
Yeah, the Distillers app. And it can locate the right whiskey that we're actually tasting and just document a list of the whiskeys that we currently own and the palate. And also it takes down the date automatically and when you tasted it.
That's cool.
And maybe if your palate keeps on changing every time you taste it, that's cool. You can look back at if your nose and everything.
I was like, dang. But I already bought this, so I'm going to use it.
Yeah. But it's just cool, right?
Yeah,
so you can look back.
That's cool that you'll have that and I'll have this.
Yeah.
So
conveniently, just to see, did my nose change? Like, am I getting more experienced or is it developing a lot better?
Your nose is on point, like from before to now. Like just a couple weeks ago when we were in Vegas, where it was just like, vanilla, caramel. That's it. That's all we could smell, right? And then slowly you start kind of developing your nose a little bit. And then when you say, green apples, I go, oh, yeah, cool, green apples. And I try to find even deeper smells, like or deeper notes.
It's very interesting what you can smell from this drink.
North Africa, yeah, I was right. I was good in geography.
Yeah, Algeria sounds like Nigeria.
I feel like because it's like I know the shape too. I kind of know where it is. I'm picturing it because I'm a visual learner. I remember that test. Okay, so anything left to close?
No, I think that's it. I think we're going celebrate the New Year's and just kind of relax throughout till the end of the new year and do a solid jump start.
Okay.
Even though I already did a little mini jump start.
Well, I want to make a note of it. Like, I was like, how are we going to still intend to relax? Because I know things are coming through. You've been kind of hitting me with little blips of work, and I'm like, I don't want to work yet, okay? I don't want to work yet. I want to enjoy our relaxation. I want to know that I gave a full effort into my relaxation as well as that for my work. That way I can give a good full effort in my work. So maybe I'll say to you, is it emergency? for work related, then I will drop what I'm doing and go do. Is it priority? If it's priority, cool. Let's make a list of it. Let's write it down. I will do it immediately right when I get back to work. And then if it is it just something for the list. So that's basically it. Is it emergency or is it priority?
I would say all these things. I don't know. It is our tradition to blog every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure, is that
I
a
think
priority?
I don't think you have to. You can
Because
do
I
something
felt
more
what's
fun.
on my portfolio is all just engagements, and it needs some wedding in there.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you're speaking to you in terms of a client. Does a client care at this moment?
I'm not too sure.
At the expense of you fully enjoying relaxing. I'm already hinting to you
Let's
the answer.
asking them. Let's ask them.
Ask them? Okay. Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Survey your people. You want to see a new blog or you want to let me relax?
Oh.
Guilt them into it.
Oh man.
If they say, yeah, we would love to see it,
Yeah.
test them.
Well, it's towards the end of the day, and I feel like I don't want to do anything.
I say if you want to blog,
Mm-hmm.
you can hit that personal touch aspect of marketing. Okay, I'm going
Yeah.
to speak to your logical side. And do something a little bit more simple. You could share some of the photos that you could
already
just
did.
share, like Christmas photo or whatever, or
That was
I don't
yesterday.
know, end of the year. I mean, I already posted that for you on Christmas, where it was like an end of the year little like thing.
It doesn't go on Instagram.
So, but you can do something like that. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
okay.
Is like you don't have to do the normal. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, nobody listens. So
Yeah.
it's good to interrupt it with something different to make people turn their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it would be if you're talking about strategy, do something a little bit different for Thursday.
Oh, okay. Like just a quick IG story.
Like
you mean?
like that's different. Instead
I'll
of
just
the-
show them what I
yeah.
just received, a new packaging that we just got.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And take them through a little video of it and whatever, and let people know. Remind them, hey, you guys are getting this, at the end of your wedding. So
Yeah.
just something to look forward to. A little gift from us.
Cool.
Cool. Very good. All right. See you guys next time.
See you guys next year.
Next year.
Right. Well,
All
let's
right.
see you guys in like 2 weeks because I have a wedding next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
All right. Later.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.